My name is Princess Olivia, and this is a tale of my extraordinary journey. Preface. Once, I lived in a peaceful kingdom, a land of beauty and harmony, until the day darkness loomed over us. It all began with the sudden onset of war. Our beloved kingdom, ruled by my kind parents, the king and queen, was under threat from an evil minister who sought to seize power. This vile man hatched a plan to capture me, using me as a pawn to control my parents. One fateful night, with the moon hidden behind ominous clouds, I was awakened by my loyal companion, Kitty Mila. Mila, a clever and brave cat with the sharpest instincts, had sensed danger. Together, we escaped from the palace just in time. The minister's soldiers were everywhere, and we had no choice but to flee into the unknown. Thus began our journey of exile, with only the stars to guide us. We ventured into the wilderness, facing countless perils and discovering magical wonders beyond imagination. Along the way, we encountered mystical creatures, from friendly forest spirits to fearsome dragons, each encounter teaching us valuable lessons and bringing us closer to our ultimate goal, reclaiming our kingdom. The minister's reach extended far and wide, and he would stop at nothing to find us. Yet, with Kitty Mila by my side, I felt a glimmer of hope. But the road ahead was fraught with danger. Together, we would outwit our enemies, forge powerful alliances, and uncover the secrets needed to restore peace to our homeland. This is our story, a tale of courage, friendship, and the indomitable spirit of a young princess and her faithful feline friend, where every step brings us closer to our destiny. Princess Olivia and her loyal companion, Kitty Mila, fled from the castle under the cover of darkness. They had no time to gather much food, carrying only a small bundle of provisions. As they made their way through the dense forest, hunger began to gnaw at them. Suddenly, Olivia spotted an apple tree by the roadside, its branches heavy with ripe, delicious-looking apples. "Look, Mila, we can eat those apples," Olivia exclaimed. However, Mila, always cautious, noticed something odd. "Wait, Olivia," she whispered. "The animals around here are avoiding that tree. Something's not right." Ignoring Mila's warning, Olivia reached up to pluck an apple when, out of nowhere, a giant spider emerged from behind the tree. Its 8 eyes glinted menacingly as it blocked their path. Olivia and Mila froze in fear, realizing the danger they were in. Just as the spider lunged toward them, a brilliant, fiery phoenix swooped down from the sky. Its radiant feathers glowed like embers, and with a fierce cry, it scared the spider away. The creature retreated into the shadows, and the phoenix landed gracefully beside the tree. "Thank you, brave phoenix," Olivia said, awestruck by the magnificent bird. "Will you join us on our journey to reclaim our kingdom?" The phoenix looked at them with wise, piercing eyes and shook its head. "I seek the company of the strong and brave," it said. "You are not ready yet." Disheartened but understanding, Olivia nodded. "I feel we will meet again," she said, watching the phoenix take flight and disappear into the horizon. With the danger gone, Olivia and Mila sat beneath the apple tree and enjoyed a much-needed meal. The apples were sweet and refreshing, giving them the energy they needed to continue their journey. Feeling revitalized, Olivia and Mila pressed on, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead, knowing their adventure had only just begun. As the sun began to set, Princess Olivia and Kitty Mila realized they needed to find a place to rest for the night. The forest around them was growing darker, and they knew it would be dangerous to continue without a safe spot to sleep. In the distance, they spotted smoke rising and a small thatched cottage nestled among the trees. Hoping to find refuge, they approached the cottage and knocked on the door. To their surprise, a Scarecrow answered. He appeared friendly and invited them inside to rest. Grateful, Olivia and Mila settled in for the night. However, as time passed, they began to notice something off about their host. The Scarecrow's demeanor changed, and he revealed his true nature. He was under the control of an evil witch who resided in a castle deep within the forest. Olivia observed a dark red gemstone embedded in the Scarecrow's chest, glowing faintly. She realized this was the source of the witch's control. In a swift move, Olivia knocked the gemstone off the Scarecrow's chest. Immediately, his eyes softened, and he began to remember who he was. The Scarecrow, now freed, revealed that he was once the apprentice of a kind old wizard. He had been captured and enchanted by the witch, forced to do her bidding. Grateful for their help, the Scarecrow warned Olivia and Mila about the witch and her castle hidden in the forest. He told them to be very cautious, as the witch's power was formidable. Just then, the witch's raven flew in, checking on the Scarecrow. Prepared, Olivia and Mila fought off the raven, eventually driving it away. Realizing the danger they were in, the Scarecrow gathered his belongings and decided to join Olivia and Mila together. They set off into the forest, determined to avoid the witch's clutches and continue their journey with a newfound ally. As dawn broke, Princess Olivia, Kitty Mila, and the Scarecrow were preparing to continue their journey when a figure emerged from the shadows. An old wizard, with a long white beard and a staff, approached them. Initially, Olivia and Mila thought he might be an enemy. However, the Scarecrow immediately recognized him and exclaimed, "It's my master!" Relieved, they listened as the Scarecrow explained that this old wizard had once been his kind mentor. The group pleaded with the wizard to help them defeat the evil witch. To their dismay, the old wizard sighed and admitted that he wasn't powerful enough to overcome her alone. He explained that the witch possessed 3 powerful artifacts: a spellbook containing mighty incantations, a chalice that replenished magic energy, and a crystal ball that could foresee the future. The witch was using these artifacts to maintain her power and had been sending her minions to capture anyone who might threaten her reign. The crystal ball had foretold that someone would rise to defeat her, which was why the witch was so desperate to capture Princess Olivia and her friends, despite his inability to directly challenge the witch. The old wizard agreed to teach Olivia a fireball spell, which would be useful in their quest. He also gave her a magical glove that could block some spells, providing her with some protection. Grateful for his assistance, Olivia practiced the fireball spell, feeling more prepared for the challenges ahead. With a heavy heart, the old wizard knew he had to leave. He entrusted his former apprentice, the Scarecrow, to Olivia and Mila's care, hoping they could continue the fight against the witch. As the wizard and the Scarecrow said their farewells, the group felt a renewed sense of purpose. They knew the journey ahead would be dangerous, but with their newfound knowledge and tools, they felt ready to face the witch's forces. Princess Olivia and Kitty Mila continued their adventure, cautiously evading the evil witch's minions who were relentlessly searching for them. Every rustle in the bushes or shadow in the trees made them wary, knowing that the witch's spies could be anywhere. As they journeyed through the forest, the sky grew dark, and rain began to pour. They were soon drenched, struggling to find shelter from the relentless downpour. In their desperate search for a dry spot, they stumbled upon a cave entrance. Relieved, they rushed inside to escape the rain. The cave was deep and dark, with echoes of dripping water and mysterious sounds reverberating through the tunnels. The deeper they ventured, the louder the noises became, creating an eerie and foreboding atmosphere. In the farthest depths of the cave, they stumbled upon an enormous dragon, deep in slumber. Its scales glimmered faintly in the dim light, and the ground around it was littered with treasure gold coins, jewels, and various artifacts. Olivia and Mila knew they needed to leave quietly to avoid waking the dragon. As they carefully stepped back, Olivia accidentally tripped over a pile of jewels, causing a loud clatter that echoed through the cavern. The dragon's eyes snapped open, and it roared in fury, flames licking at its jaws. Olivia and Mila scrambled to their feet, heart pounding in their chests. The dragon began to breathe fire, the heat searing the air around them. Olivia and Mila fled as fast as they could, narrowly avoiding the scorching flames. They ran through the dark, twisting tunnels, desperately trying to find their way out. Finally, they burst out of the cave, rain still pouring down outside. They looked back, relieved to see that the dragon had not followed them. Soaked and exhausted, but safe for the moment, they took a moment to catch their breaths and regroup. The close encounter with the dragon was a stark reminder of the dangers that lay ahead. Despite the peril, they knew they had to keep moving and stay vigilant to avoid the witch's grasp. With renewed determination, they continued their journey, ready to face whatever challenges awaited them. After their narrow escape from the dragon, Princess Olivia and Kitty Mila continued their journey. The storm finally passed, and the sky cleared, revealing a beautiful rainbow stretching across the horizon. The sight lifted their spirits, filling them with a renewed sense of hope and wonder. As they walked, Kitty Mila noticed something unusual in the nearby bushes. Tiny rainbows appeared, shimmering and dancing among the leaves. Curiosity piqued. They decided to investigate the source of this magical sight. To their surprise, they found a small unicorn hiding in the bushes. The unicorn introduced herself as Amber. She explained that she lived on a mountaintop, not far from where they were. Amber had come out to play and explore but had been chased by a pack of evil wolves. In her haste to escape, she had lost her way and ended up in the forest where Olivia and Mila found her. Feeling a connection with the small unicorn, Olivia and Mila decided to help her. They offered to take Amber with them and promised to find a way to return her to her home safely. Amber, grateful and relieved, accepted their offer and became their new companion. The addition of Amber brought a new dynamic to their journey. Her magical abilities created small rainbows and light, lifting their spirits. The three friends shared their stories and bonded over their adventures. Realizing that they were stronger together, as they traveled, they remained vigilant, knowing the dangers still lurked in the shadows. But with Amber by their side, they felt more confident and hopeful about the challenges ahead. Together, they continued their quest, determined to overcome any obstacles that came their way. Nightfall brought the most dangerous time for Princess Olivia, Kitty Mila, and Unicorn Amber as they continued their journey through the dark forest. The thick canopy above blocked out the moonlight, leaving them to navigate by the faint glow of amber magic. As they cautiously walked, they stumbled upon a troop of skeletal soldiers patrolling the forest. Their bones clattered with each step, a chilling reminder of the dangers lurking in the shadows. Surprisingly, the skeletal soldiers seemed oblivious to their presence, marching past without a second glance. Amber whispered, "It felt like an invisible curtain just fell in front of us, hiding us from them." Curious and puzzled, Olivia spoke into the darkness, asking if anyone was there. Suddenly, a group of friendly ghosts appeared, their forms glowing faintly in the darkness. The ghosts explained that they were residents of the forest and shared a mutual hatred for the Dark Witch. They had used their magic to shield Olivia, Mila, and Amber from the skeletal soldiers. One of the ghosts remarked, "There's a faint glow around you, Princess Olivia. It feels warm and comforting to us." This reminded Olivia of the night she escaped from the castle, when she had also received help from unseen entities. She realized these ghosts had been protecting her all along. Among the ghosts was their queen, who approached Olivia with a kind smile. The Ghost Queen noticed Olivia's worn-out magical glove and offered to repair it. With a wave of her spectral hand, she mended the glove, enhancing its protective powers. "This glove will now better protect you from the Dark Witch's magic," the Queen said. Grateful for their help, Olivia, Mila, and Amber felt a renewed sense of safety and strength. The ghosts assured them they would continue to watch over them as they journeyed through the forest. With newfound allies and a fortified glove, the trio continued their adventure, more confident than ever in their mission to defeat the Dark Witch. After bidding farewell to the friendly ghosts, Princess Olivia, Kitty Mila, and Unicorn Amber continued their journey through the forest. As they walked, they heard the sound of flowing water nearby. Curiosity piqued, they followed the sound to discover its source. Amber smiled and explained that she had a special magic that could attract moving magical spring water to her. This revelation astonished Olivia and Mila. Amber went on to explain that the spring water was actually a bathing pool for unicorns. Both Olivia and Mila were intrigued and surprised by this magical ability. Amber invited Olivia and Mila to join her in the magical spring for a bath. The trio stepped into the sparkling waters, and as they bathed, they felt their fatigue and injuries melt away. The rejuvenating waters worked wonders, leaving them feeling completely refreshed and healed. After their bath, they discovered that they had gained a new ability. They could now sense the emotions of plants around them. This newfound power amazed them, as they could feel the joy and sadness of the trees, flowers, and other flora in the forest. As they marveled at their new ability, the magical spring gradually disappeared. Amber assured them that the spring would return whenever they needed it. Feeling invigorated, they continued their journey with renewed energy and purpose. Not long after, they easily found a pear tree, laden with ripe and juicy fruit. It seemed that their newfound connection with the plants had guided them to this bountiful tree. Grateful and excited, they picked the delicious pears and enjoyed a well-deserved feast, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. As Princess Olivia, Kitty Mila, and Unicorn Amber continued their journey, they stumbled upon a charming mushroom house nestled in the forest. The whimsical structure piqued their curiosity, and they approached it cautiously. Upon entering the house, they were greeted by a group of cheerful dwarfs. The dwarfs seemed delighted to see them and warmly invited them inside. Kitty Mila and Amber, however, sensed something amiss and warned Olivia to be careful. Despite their concerns, Olivia was charmed by the friendly dwarfs and accepted their invitation. Inside the mushroom house, the dwarfs welcomed them with open arms. The table was laden with an array of delicious foods, from freshly baked bread to exotic fruits. Olivia was about to dig in when Kitty Mila whispered a warning. She noticed the dwarfs exchanging uneasy glances. Olivia's suspicions grew, and she decided to confront the dwarfs. She asked them directly why they seemed so anxious. The dwarfs, unable to hide the truth any longer, confessed their plight. They revealed that they once lived happily in the mushroom forest, but the dark witch had taken control of their lives. The witch had ordered them to harvest mushrooms for her magical potions, and to capture any strangers who wandered into their forest. The dwarfs were kind-hearted and hated following these orders, but they feared the witch's wrath. To protect themselves, they reluctantly played along with her demands. Touched by the dwarfs' predicament, Olivia, Mila, and Amber felt a deep sense of empathy for them. Understanding their situation, they decided to leave quietly. The dwarfs, grateful for their understanding, provided them with a basket of food and secretly helped them escape. With their hearts heavy yet determined, Olivia, Mila, and Amber continued their journey. They promised to find a way to help the dwarfs and free them from the witch's control. The adventure had become more challenging, but their resolve to defeat the witch grew stronger with every step. As Princess Olivia, Kitty Mila, and Unicorn Amber continued their journey through the dense forest, they saw a terrifying sight in the distance: a three-headed snake. Its head moved menacingly, and its scales glistened with a sinister glow. Realizing the danger, they quickly climbed a large, leafy tree to hide. The tree's thick foliage provided excellent cover, and they held their breaths as the snake approached. To their relief, the three-headed snake didn't notice them. It led a troop of skeletal soldiers, which marched past their hiding spot. After the danger had passed, they sighed with relief. Just as they were about to climb down, the tree they were in began to speak. "Greetings, young travelers," it said in a deep, resonant voice. Startled, they realized they were perched in the branches of an ancient oak tree, which was actually a tree guardian. The tree guardian introduced himself and explained that the three-headed snake they had seen was one of the dark witch's most formidable minions. Each of its heads possesses a deadly power, the tree said. One head breathes ice, another spits venom, and the third spews fire. The tree guardian continued. Many have tried to defeat the snake, but none have succeeded. However, It is said that the snake has a fatal weakness, though no one knows what it is. Intrigued and slightly fearful, Olivia, Mila, and Amber listened carefully to the tree guardian's words. They knew that to defeat the witch, they would eventually have to face her powerful minions, including the three-headed snake. The information about its abilities and the hint of a possible weakness gave them a glimmer of hope. With gratitude, they thanked the tree guardian for his wisdom and climbed down from the tree. As they continued their journey, they discussed the new information and strategized on how they might uncover the snake's weakness. After bidding farewell to the tree guardian, Princess Olivia, Kitty Mila, and Unicorn Amber continued their adventure. The forest seemed quieter now, but the air was still thick with the anticipation of the unknown. Suddenly, a loud scream pierced the silence. They hurried towards the sound and found a handsome prince fighting a giant scorpion with his sword. The prince was clearly struggling, his movements growing weaker as the scorpion's venom took its toll. Seeing the prince in dire need, Olivia quickly decided to help. She remembered the fireball spell she had learned and cast it at the scorpion. The fireball hit the scorpion, sending it scuttling away in retreat. Olivia, Mila, and Amber rushed to the prince's side. To their surprise, the prince was already starting to recover. Amber explained that she could summon magical spring water to cleanse the venom from his wounds. With Amber magic, the prince was soon feeling much better. The prince introduced himself as Andrew, an adventurous soul who had been exploring the forest. He told them that he had found a mysterious box in an underground palace within the forest. However, after discovering the box, he had been relentlessly pursued by the three-headed snake and its minions. Curious about the box, Olivia and her friends asked to see it. Prince Andrew opened the box to reveal 3 beating hearts, each a different color: blue, red, and black. The hearts seemed to pulse with a strange energy. A thought struck Olivia. These hearts might be the key to defeating the three-headed snake, she said. The group speculated that each heart could be linked to one of the snake's heads, possibly revealing its fatal weakness. With renewed determination, they decided to protect the box and use it to confront the three-headed snake. Their journey had taken an unexpected turn, but they were now armed with new knowledge and a potential solution to their greatest challenge yet. As Princess Olivia, Kitty Mila, and Unicorn Amber continued their journey, they grew increasingly anxious. The number of the Dark Witch's minions seemed to be multiplying, and they were running out of places to hide. Their hearts pounded with worry as they sought a safe refuge. Just when it seemed like there was no escape, a small mouse scurried up to them. The mouse squeaked urgently, signaling for them to follow. Olivia was puzzled but noticed that Kitty Mila seemed to recognize the mouse. Mila's face lit up with recognition and relief. "This is Rob," Mila explained. "He's a good friend of mine. I once saved him from a hunter's trap, and we've been friends ever since." Olivia felt a surge of hope and gratitude for Mila's resourcefulness. Rob led them through the forest, skillfully navigating the underbrush and avoiding the witch's patrols. They followed the tiny mouse until they reached a large boulder. The group looked around, confused about where to go next. Rob squeaked loudly, and to their amazement, the boulder began to move. A hidden door slowly opened, revealing a secret passageway. Olivia, Mila, and Amber exchanged looks of astonishment and quickly followed Rob into the passage. Princess Olivia, Kitty Mila, and Unicorn Amber followed the small mouse, Rob, through the dense forest. After a while, they reached a hidden entrance that led to an underground palace. To their amazement, this was a mouse kingdom, a bustling place filled with intelligent and resourceful mice. Upon entering the grand hall, they were greeted by the Mouse King. The king listened intently as Olivia recounted their recent adventures and the threats posed by the Dark Witch and her minions. The Mouse King nodded gravely and then shared a startling revelation. He explained that the mice were excellent spies and had uncovered a dark conspiracy. The evil witch had secretly allied herself with a traitorous minister in the royal court. Together, they planned to seize control of the entire kingdom. This was the true reason behind the minister's rebellion and the witch's relentless pursuit of Olivia and her friends. The Mouse King continued, revealing that the mice had overheard a prophecy from the witch's crystal ball. According to the crystal ball, the witch would be defeated by a glowing white witch. Though the face of this savior was unclear, Olivia was puzzled by this prophecy and wondered if it could possibly refer to her. With this new information, Olivia, Mila, and Amber realized the gravity of their mission. The conspiracy against the kingdom was larger and more dangerous than they had imagined. They thanked the Mouse King for his invaluable assistance and vowed to uncover the truth behind the prophecy. The Mouse King urged Princess Olivia, Kitty Mila, and Unicorn Amber to stay in the underground palace, assuring them that it was safe from the witch's minions. However, Olivia knew they couldn't hide forever. They needed to confront the witch and save their kingdom. Determined to continue their quest, they prepared to leave. Just as they were about to set off, Rob, the brave little mouse, requested to join their team. He offered to be their scout and gather crucial information on their enemies. Grateful for his bravery, they welcomed him into their group. With Rob leading the way, they ventured out of the Mouse Kingdom and back into the forest. As they traveled, Olivia noticed a raven following them. Remembering stories where ravens served evil witches, she grew suspicious. Ready to defend her friends, she prepared to use her fireball spell. Unicorn Amber and Kitty Mila, however, sensed no evil from the bird. They suggested greeting the raven instead of attacking. Hesitant but trusting her friends, Olivia called out to the raven. It flew down and, to their surprise, began to speak. The raven explained that its brother had been captured by the witch, and it sought help to rescue him. Alone, it lacked the strength to confront the witch's forces. Moved by the raven's plight, Olivia, Mila, and Amber agreed to let it join their team. Their group had grown significantly. Now, they had Prince Andrew, Unicorn Amber, Kitty Mila, Rob the Mouse, the Raven, and Princess Olivia herself. Together, they knew they needed a solid plan to defeat their powerful enemies. As they gathered around the campfire that night, they discussed their strategy. They needed detailed information about the witch and her minions. With Rob's spying skills and the raven's knowledge of the witch's lair, they felt more prepared. Their unity and combined strengths gave them hope. The journey ahead was fraught with danger, but with a clear plan and trusted allies, they felt confident. Their goal was to confront the witch, rescue the captured, and restore peace to their kingdom. With their plan in place, they continued their adventure, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. The night was calm as Princess Olivia, Kitty Mila, Prince Andrew, Unicorn Amber, Rob the Mouse, and the Raven took turns keeping watch. They ensured everyone got some rest while staying vigilant. As dawn approached, they noticed a distant flicker of firelight on the horizon, but it quickly vanished. Rob, the brave little mouse, volunteered to investigate. He scampered off into the darkness, returning shortly with alarming news. The three-headed snake, along with its minions, had captured a fiery red phoenix. Olivia's heart sank with worry, fearing it might be the phoenix that had saved them earlier. Determined to find out, they quietly followed Rob to the snake's camp. They saw the three-headed snake leading a pack of wolves, one of which carried the captured phoenix on its back. Olivia's instinct was to rush in and rescue the phoenix immediately, but Prince Andrew held her back. "We can't all risk our lives," Andrew said firmly. "If the mysterious box doesn't work, we'll all be captured. We need a plan." After a brief but intense discussion, they decided that Andrew would confront the three-headed snake directly. Meanwhile, Olivia, Mila, Amber, Rob, and the Raven would stealthily rescue the phoenix. With the plan set, they moved into position. Prince Andrew emerged from the shadows, walking boldly towards the three-headed snake. The creature was taken aback by his sudden appearance and demanded he hand over the box. Andrew stood his ground, buying time for the others to carry out their part of the plan. As the tension reached its peak, Prince Andrew reached into the mysterious box and pulled out the three crystal hearts. The three-headed snake immediately grew agitated and demanded that Andrew hand over the hearts. Seizing the opportunity, Princess Olivia, Kitty Mila, and their friends managed to rescue the phoenix from the clutches of the wolves. With the phoenix safe, the three-headed snake began its assault, spewing ice, fire, and poisonous fog in all directions. Prince Andrew swung his sword at one of the crystal hearts, shattering it, but to his horror, it quickly reformed. The snake, seeing his futile attempt, slithered closer, confident in its impending victory. Desperation filled the air as the snake tightened its grip. Suddenly, an idea struck Olivia. She realized that they needed to destroy all three hearts simultaneously to defeat the snake. Quickly, she shared her plan with Andrew and Mila. Each of them took a crystal heart. Andrew, Olivia, and Mila positioned themselves around the hearts, ready to strike. With a synchronized effort, they smashed the hearts simultaneously. The hearts shattered into pieces, and this time, they did not reform. The three-headed snake let out a terrifying roar as its body began to crumble. It turned into a pile of rubble, defeated at last. The team had triumphed, overcoming the formidable foe through teamwork and quick thinking. After defeating the three-headed snake, Princess Olivia, Kitty Mila, Prince Andrew, Unicorn Amber, Rob the Mouse, and the Raven were filled with excitement and relief. They cheered and hugged, celebrating their hard-fought victory. However, their joy was short-lived as they noticed the witch's minions slowly retreating into the shadows. Just as they were about to question this strange behavior, the sky suddenly darkened. A sense of dread filled the air as an extremely evil witch made her entrance. Her eyes glowed with malevolence, and a red-eyed raven perched on her shoulder. She held a mystical chalice in one hand and a crystal ball in the other, while a magical book floated before her. With a wave of her hand, she cast a spell that turned Prince Andrew into stone. Olivia gasped in horror as the witch began to advance towards them. Fear gripped her heart, but she knew she had to stand her ground. Her friends bravely formed a protective circle around her, but the witch's power was overwhelming. One by one, they were struck down and flung aside. The witch set her sights on Unicorn Amber, intent on capturing her. Seeing her friends injured and the witch closing in, Olivia felt a surge of courage. She summoned all her strength and cast a fireball spell she had recently learned. The small flame shot towards the witch, but she merely scoffed at the feeble attempt and continued her approach. Desperation filled Olivia's heart as she realized the witch was unaffected. She felt a sinking despair, knowing that their fight was far from over, and the enemy was far more powerful than they had imagined. The evil witch, with a wave of her hand, cast a petrifying spell towards Princess Olivia. Turning away dismissively, she continued her pursuit of Unicorn Amber. Olivia, filled with despair, instinctively raised her hand to shield herself, eyes tightly shut. To her astonishment, when she opened her eyes, she was not turned to stone. The magic gloves she wore had protected her from the spell. Just then, a voice echoed in her ear, urging her to use her fireball spell. She turned and saw the phoenix, now awake, gripping her shoulder firmly. Without a moment's hesitation, Olivia conjured her fireball spell. To her surprise, it was no ordinary fireball. It was a massive sphere of phoenix fire, burning brighter and fiercer than anything she had ever seen. The evil witch sensed the danger and turned to defend herself, but it was too late. The powerful fireball engulfed her completely. As the flames surrounded the witch, Olivia couldn't help but wonder if they had finally triumphed. As the enormous fireball began to dissipate, the silhouette of the evil witch emerged from the flames, unscathed. Her magical book, chalice, and crystal ball still floated around her, untouched by the fire. We were all stunned. It seemed as if the witch had not been harmed at all. Suddenly, Prince Andrew, who had been turned to stone, sprang to life and charged towards the witch with his sword raised. "He's back," I thought, astonished. However, before Andrew could reach her, the crystal ball cracked, and the witch spat out a plume of smoke. Realizing she was in danger, the witch turned and flew away, shouting, "You haven't seen the last of me. I will return." We wanted to give chase, but Kitty Mila stopped us. "She's heading back to her castle," Mila explained. "It's full of traps and dangers. We need a solid plan before we follow her." We gathered our friends and began to strategize. The raven, the mouse, and other allies who knew the layout of the castle provided crucial information. We discussed various ideas and tactics, knowing that rushing in without a plan would lead to disaster. As we were deep in discussion, we lamented the loss of the crystal ball. It had been an invaluable artifact, and its destruction was a significant blow. Suddenly, the sky above us brightened, and 3 beautiful fairies appeared. A stunning female fairy, accompanied by 2 handsome male fairies, descended from the sky, reminding me of scenes from The Lord of the Rings. The three elves descended gracefully, their ethereal presence filling us with awe. They introduced themselves as envoys from a distant elven kingdom, drawn here by the crystal ball's unusual magic. They explained that the crystal ball had emitted a powerful surge, prompting them to investigate. We listened intently as they revealed that the evil witch, Moira, was once an elf herself. She betrayed her kin and stole the crystal ball, turning to dark magic. Intrigued, we asked about the magical book and chalice she wielded. The elves explained that these items were obtained through a pact with a demon, in exchange for her soul. We pleaded for their help in defeating Moira, but the elves were hesitant. They needed to return the crystal ball to the ancient elven tree for repairs, or it would be damaged beyond repair. However, they promised to assist us in another way, by freeing the witch's controlled minions. The female elf raised her hand, casting a green spell that enveloped the entire forest. The enchanted animals and creatures under Moira's control were restored to their natural state, grateful and free once more. Still, a nagging question lingered in my mind. The prophecy foretold that a glowing white witch would defeat Moira. Had the prophecy been wrong? The elf smiled gently and asked me to look at myself. To my amazement, I realized that I was emitting a soft, white glow. The realization dawned on me. I was the one destined to defeat Moira. We waved goodbye to the elves, filled with a renewed sense of hope and determination. Everyone wanted to join us in storming the witch's castle, especially those who had been enslaved by her. However, the raven's brother, who had been close to the witch, warned us that the castle was full of dangers. Too many people would trigger these hazards. We decided that only a select group would go. Myself, Kitty Mila, Prince Andrew, Unicorn Amber, the Mouse Rob, the Raven siblings, and the Phoenix. The rest of the group would stay back, ready to support us from a distance. As we approached the witch's castle, nerves tightened. The looming fortress filled us with a mix of dread and resolve. We reached the castle's gates, feeling a mix of fear and readiness for any threat that might come our way. Entering the castle, we were surprised to find it eerily quiet. No enemies in sight. We advanced cautiously, each step echoing through the silent halls, expecting an ambush at any moment. Suddenly, a chilling scream pierced the silence. It sounded like the witch, Moira. We rushed through the courtyard and into the main hall of the castle. To our horror, we discovered a massive demon holding Moira in its grasp. We stood ready for battle, but to our surprise, the demon laughed. He told us he was not here to fight us, but to deal with Moira, who had broken her contract with him. Moira had promised the demon a steady supply of souls in exchange for the powerful magic book and chalice. If she failed, she would lose her own soul. With the elves restoring everyone's freedom, the demon had lost his source of souls. Moira begged for mercy, but the demon still took her soul. He then opened a portal to hell, preparing to leave. Before he left, the demon held up the magic book and chalice, asking if I wanted to gain their immense power to protect my family and friends. Without hesitation, I refused. I didn't want power that wasn't mine, especially after seeing Moira's fate. What I truly desired was for everyone to work together and grow stronger as a team. The demon laughed heartily and then disappeared into hell, leaving we had won, I felt a bit lost. Kitty Mila comforted me, saying that even though we didn't have an epic battle, having all our friends safe was the best ending. We exited the castle and shared the good news with everyone, who erupted in cheers. A squad of soldiers approached me, saluted, and began talking about the turmoil in our kingdom. Besides the soldiers, the treacherous minister had many of Moira's minions. But recently, the animals, as if waking from a spell, started rebelling against the minister. The minister was captured, and the civil war in our kingdom ended. We were elated, hugging everyone. Our friends promised to visit Mila and me at the palace. And so, my adventure came to a close with a happy ending. Thank you for reading the story with me. Please subscribe Olivia's Storybook Corner for more fantastic stories. Bye bye!